Hey, it's Wednesday, January 13th, the day of winning. All of our class periods meet today. So if you were unaware of that, hopefully you know that now. By the way, this also might be our last day where we meet with all El Student Revolucione is correct. Our last day where we meet with all of our classes because school board is voting tonight on whether to get rid of all day Wednesdays and go to e-learning Fridays. So we'll find out tonight if that's a thing or not. My guess is it probably will be. Plus, they're voting tonight to find out whether you guys get to come back in person next week. So there is every chance we could have real humans in the classroom next Tuesday. We'll find out from there. Or it might be a lot longer, and we'll find out from that one. Your other one was a really nice chair. So anyway, let's see. The Fable, we are going to get to a quiz today. The class-wise will be pretty short, so I'm going to try and give you guys as much time as possible to take the quiz. My goal is to not get, my full-on goal is that you guys end up taking the quiz in like 10 minutes and acing it, flexing on other people, and then have like a whole bunch of free time at the end, and you have like an A+ in my class. But we'll see what happens. I don't think you can sharpen a highlighter to use it as a revolution. Yeah, that's what I felt too. I believe he's never seen a highlighter before. If you've not turned in the moral match quiz, from yesterday, make sure you get that turned in, or Monday for some of my classes. Get that turned in because it is due tonight at midnight. And then, oh, my older sisters of Moke, I like a regular, you're like a regular Aesop out there trying to earn your freedom. And then let's see, this is my reminder for those of you who are missing it, make sure you turn it in so that I can give you credit and stuff like that. And then we should be good to go. And then today's quiz, which we'll talk about here shortly. If you don't have your notes, go get them because you're going to be using them here in just a moment. So it'll make your life much easier. So I'm going to be talking about it and running through it and stuff like that. My goal is just to give you reminders. I'm going to do speedy version of all of this information again, and then we're going to jump into quiz. If you have a question, please ask it. And I'll try to do my best to give you an idea what our questions are going to be. Wow, that sounds almost violent. Let's see, so we got through our Fable notes, we got to our 3 types. So I'll tell you on the quiz, you are going to have to be able to figure out what type of fable certain ones are. I give you like 3 different fables you have to read, and then you have to figure out what type of fable it is that you are reading, or be able to find evidence to support it. You know, what we kept doing in class over and over again, finding the evidence or telling me what type it is, you're going to be doing the same thing. Then we're going to get to the moral. Make sure you know what a moral is. That one should be pretty easy. The 5 characteristics, make sure you know what the 5 character, man, there's like 12 of you kids keep yawning at me. It's like it's early in the morning or something like that. Stretch, walk around the room, take a quiz, something to use a murder balloon, whatever the thing is going to wake you up. Make sure you know the fables have to have morals. They're going to, by the way, one, since I had a kid attack me yesterday about the whole cows being dumb, realize if you read the quiz yesterday, that very first fable dealt with bulls being dumb and getting eaten by a lion, and bulls are male cows. The only way to make a cow dumber is to make it a boy. I know that because I used to be one. And so obviously there's your proof that we had big dumb cows. And so on the and, I also gave you one with an old man in it because you had the one about the old man and death, where death showed up and tried to kill him. Wow, that's telling you have all kinds of issues going on. Sorry, distracted by chat and all of the ranting and anger going into there. They should be brief and short, like you saw yesterday, humorous and funny, and then make sure they're enjoyed by people of all ages, even old men who like to taunt death. And then we got to that Aesop guy who was born a long time ago, and then we'll say started off in Africa, and then went to Greece. Although I will tell you, there's a question on the quiz that you're going to hate me for because it's going to make you think. And a lot of you guys are not good at thinking, and you're going to get all grumpy. And I'm going to get a chance to make fun of you. I look forward to it already. And the fact that he went all the way up to telling the emperor stories. He was eventually freed because of his storytelling. And then he stole a bunch of stories and became rich and famous. And then eventually was killed, like every teacher wants to be killed, by educating kids and throwing money into water. Sort of like when you go to like a park and they have like a fountain that you throw like a wishing well. That's what he did. Aesop created the first wishing well. He threw a bag of gold into a lake and said, I wish that all of you learn. And they did learn. They learned how to kill him. And he was like, worst wish ever. Same idea. And then we got to oral tradition. There are, what is wrong with you, child? Oral tradition. The passing down of the story, this will be on the quiz also about the idea of can you figure out how stories are getting passed down and how they change from one thing to the next. Hopefully you guys are good to go there. Any questions up to here? I'm going to go with no, going off of your random weird ranting in chat and the fact that 5 of you keep yawning and 3 of you keep staring at the space and drooling that you have no questions. I just wanted to make sure. Well, that's almost responsible of you. All right, not the kids talking about killing teachers and basking in their blood, but another kid sending me messages who is being somewhat responsible. The basking in teacher blood's not nearly as responsible as you might think. And then we talked about the motifs and the fact that they're going to be the common characters. And for the motifs, if you don't have these down, you are going to need to know them for quiz. On quiz, I'm going to give you something where I say, all right, if I give you the story of the fox and the elephant, what would that story be about? And you're going to have to know it deals with a sneaky one and one having a good memory or something like that. Or if I go, I'm going to give you the story of the pig and the chihuahua, what will that story be about? You have to know the pig is going to be messy and the chihuahua is. So make sure you know your motifs that were listed on here. It'll make your life much, much easier. Well, excuse me, did not mean to growl at you. Apparently I was angry at the idea of basking in teacher blood. Again, I'm assuming we have no questions as you all just stare at me. All right, so let me make sure. Then we went through and dealt with our different fables that we got a chance to read, the lion and the mouse. You're going to have to figure out if a fable is traditional or not. If it has people in it, that does not make it modern. People are in traditional fables because we've had people for thousands of years. That's who wrote the fables. So humans do not make it a modern fable. Hunters do not make it a hot modern fable because we had hunters thousands of years ago when people got hungry and had to go seek out a squirrel, they would go and eat it. That's a low-key chat message, I would agree. And so then also the same thing, if it is written as a poem, it is going to be written verse fable. So it makes you know your verse fably one from there. Because I'm going to give you that on the quiz. Let's see. Modern ones, make sure you can pick up on the clues that make it modern, whether it's doorknobs or firecrackers or principles or using the cell phone or something along those lines. Hopefully that helps you out be able to tell the differences from that one. And then again, we have short version of fable, long version of fable, and the reason that we have these two different ones is because of oral tradition. All right, who wants to drink? What is wrong with you? I mean, I know the answer. I know what's wrong with you, but it does not help. All right. So I mentioned this to you guys yesterday, the fact that there is a handout that you can click to download those fables. There are going to be questions about those fables on the quiz today. If you have not gone clicky downloady, it's going to make your life a little bit tougher when it comes to the quiz, because it's going to say, looking at the fable on the handout. If you don't have a handout, then that's definitely going to make you struggle. So I figured I'd just give you a heads up. It'll make your life much easier if you can look on handout. All right. I will do my best to let you know at the end of the thing. I think I have that planned out already. All right, so that's what it looks like. And then, all right, I'm doing this real quick before I get to my next thing. So let's see, which kids do I get to torture? Yep. And is it my normal torture child? Uh-oh, you get my normal torture children. Hang on 1 second, and we're going to find out who gets to come back and yell at me. This kid, and as he does the talky thing. Oh, never mind. I got ready to remove him. Hang on. And we're going to do this thing. I wonder who it is. Who's going to get removed? Never mind. We all know the answer. All right. And remove again. So here's, don't jump off yet. I want to show you this. On the quiz today, once you finish quiz, you may leave the Zoom. If you leave Zoom and have not turned in quiz, you are counted absent today. So make sure that you do not leave Zoom until it is turned in. As soon as it's turned in, you are welcome to take off and I am done with you. Those of you who pay attention, you should be able to finish quiz in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe even less than that. Just want to give you the heads up. So do not leave until you have it turned in and then you are good to go. All right. Then it is now time to take quiz. You can find it on the Fable Notes. It's called the Fable Notes Quiz. There. And that kid coming back. You can also find some, make sure the moral match quiz we've already done. except for the one kid we talked to. The others of you, Fable Notes is the one that you want to go find and turn in. So you're going to find that one. All right, hang on a second. Do this again. We're going to keep torturing this child until eventually he learns. And no, I didn't get a chance to torture him. All right, I see you and you have the worst timing every time. All right, so taking taking quiz, and then once you've turned it in, you are good to go. And that's all I have for you guys for today. I figured I was use today to get that turned in. All right, I will stop babbling. I'm going to stop recording also. Oh,